Why is it that some people rise to greatness while others get swallowed by routine? Why do some carve their names into history while others fade away unnoticed? The answer isn't luck, it isn't chance. It's the structure of their lives, the way they think, the way they act, the way they choose to confront reality. See, most people live in chaos without even realizing it. They wake up late, they scroll endlessly, they complain. Day after day, the same habits, the same distractions, and slowly they drift. Life becomes mechanical, the fire goes out, and when that happens, they don't even notice they've surrendered their future. But those who achieve greatness, they live differently. They build order out of chaos, they confront what they fear. They take responsibility not only for themselves, but for the lives they touch. And responsibility, that's the foundation of greatness. Let me tell you something, routine isn't the enemy. It's unconscious routine that destroys you. When your habits are automatic, meaningless, designed to numb you rather than elevate you, then you lose. But when you consciously build structure, waking up early, setting goals, confronting tasks, cleaning your room before you take on the world, that's when routine becomes a weapon. That's when it makes you powerful. People ask me all the time, what's the method? How do I turn my life around? And the answer is brutally simple. Start small, start today, and start with what you can control. If your room is a mess, clean it. If your body is weak, train it. If your relationships are broken, fix them. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity because it won't come. Discipline creates opportunity. Greatness doesn't appear in one grand moment. It's built brick by brick, action by action, day by day. The great ones understand this. They know every small victory compounds. Every tiny act of discipline builds momentum. And momentum, once it starts rolling, is unstoppable. But most people never begin. They tell themselves stories, it's too late, it's too hard, I'll start tomorrow, tomorrow never comes. They bury themselves in excuses. And in the end, the tragedy of their life is not that they aimed too high and failed, it's that they aimed too low and succeeded. So the choice is yours. Stay asleep in the comfort of unconscious routine, or wake up and build a life of meaning, responsibility, and greatness. Greatness is not an accident, it's a decision. Now, here's what most people don't want to hear. Greatness requires sacrifice. You cannot have everything. If you want to rise, you must give something up: comfort, laziness, distraction, sometimes even relationships that hold you back. The question isn't, what do I want? The real question is, what am I willing to give up to get it? Those who remain trapped in mediocrity always cling to comfort. They'd rather watch others win than risk failing themselves. They'd rather be safe than be great. And safety, ironically, becomes the most dangerous thing of all because it robs you of growth. Think about it. The people who achieve greatness don't wait until they're ready. They act while they're scared. They act while they're unprepared. They step forward into the unknown. That's courage. And courage doesn't mean you're fearless. It means you move forward despite the fear. One of the biggest lies people believe is that motivation comes first. No, discipline comes first, action comes first, motivation follows. If you wait to feel ready, you'll wait your whole life. But if you begin, even with small steps, you create energy, you create direction, you create the momentum that drags you out of stagnation and into progress. Here's the method. Define your highest value. Aim at something real, something worthy of your effort. Then structure your life around that aim. Every day, ask yourself, is what I'm doing right now taking me closer to my goal or further away? If the answer is further away, stop. Change direction. The problem is, many people never define their aim. They wander. They live by default, not by design. They let circumstances dictate their lives instead of shaping their own path. And without an aim, you are vulnerable to everything: temptation, distraction, despair. But with an aim, you can endure almost anything, because meaning fuels perseverance. And let me tell you, greatness is not built in isolation from suffering. It's forged in it. It's forged when you face what terrifies you, when you carry burdens heavier than you thought you could bear, when you refuse to collapse even though every part of you is screaming to quit. That's when greatness is born. So ask yourself, do you want to live safe, small, and forgotten? Or do you want to take on responsibility, embrace the weight of existence, and build a life that matters? The method is here: responsibility, discipline, sacrifice, and meaning. That's how you transform from ordinary to extraordinary. Let's go deeper. The people who rise to greatness understand one thing: order conquers chaos. Life is filled with suffering, unpredictability, injustice. You can't escape it, but you can confront it. And the way you confront it is by creating order where you stand. If your life feels meaningless, start by fixing what's right in front of you. Clean your room, put your house in order. It sounds trivial, but it isn't. Because if you can't bring order to the space you live in, how can you expect to bring order to your future? Discipline in the smallest things creates capacity for the biggest things. That's the method. Start small, build discipline, create order. Then expand, piece by piece, day by day. And when you fall, because you will fall, you get back up. You keep moving. Every stumble is a lesson. Every failure a teacher. The great ones are not those who never fail, but those who refuse to stay down. The tragedy of many lives is that people underestimate their potential. They shrink from responsibility. They avoid challenges. And what happens? Their life shrinks with them. They live small. They think small. They become small. But the ones who take on more than they think they can handle, they discover strength they didn't know they had. And that's the paradox of growth. The burden you fear is the very thing that transforms you. The weight you carry is what builds your character. Greatness doesn't come from ease. It comes from willingly shouldering difficulty. Now compare the two paths. One, a life of comfort, ease, distraction, Netflix, video games, endless scrolling, no real aim. It feels good in the moment, but years later you look back and realize you wasted your life, you traded meaning for comfort, and comfort always rots. The other path, a life of responsibility, discipline, aim. Harder, yes, but filled with progress, pride, and significance. You wake up knowing you're moving forward. You look in the mirror and respect yourself. That's the path of greatness. And here's the choice. Nobody can make it for you. You have to decide. Do you want a life of distraction or a life of direction? Do you want to be remembered as someone who gave everything, or forgotten as someone who drifted through? Greatness is earned in the ordinary days, the quiet struggles, the disciplined choices. The method is simple, but not easy. Confront chaos with order, aim at meaning, and refuse to quit. That's the path. That's why some rise while others fade. So let's bring it all together. Why do some achieve greatness while others drown in routine? Because the great ones choose responsibility over comfort, order over chaos, and meaning over distraction. The truth is, every single one of us has the potential to rise. But potential means nothing without action. You can sit on the couch for a lifetime telling yourself you could be great, and you'll die with your potential still inside you. Or you can aim high, act boldly, and transform that potential into reality. Here's the method that changes everything. Set an aim, something that matters, not just what feels good, but what's meaningful. Build discipline, start small, keep promises to yourself, show up even when you don't feel like it. Embrace responsibility. The more weight you carry, the stronger you become. Stop running from burdens, carry them and let them shape you. Face chaos. Don't avoid what terrifies you, step into it. Order is built by confronting the unknown, not hiding from it. Repeat daily. Greatness isn't a one-time event. It's forged every day in the choices you make. And understand this, greatness doesn't mean fame, it doesn't mean applause, it means living a life worth living, a life where you know you gave everything, where you aimed higher than comfort, where you left the world better than you found it. People trapped in routine live in cycles of avoidance. They avoid pain, so they avoid growth, they avoid responsibility, so they avoid meaning, they avoid failure, so they avoid success, and in the end, they avoid life itself. But those who achieve greatness, they live fully, they fail, they bleed, they suffer, but they rise. And in rising, they discover who they truly are. So here's my challenge to you. Stop waiting for permission. Stop living like life is a rehearsal. This is it. Right now, decide what you want your story to be. Decide what mountain you're going to climb. Decide who you're going to become. Because at the end of the day, the difference between those who achieve greatness and those who don't isn't talent or luck or circumstance. It's the courage to aim higher, the discipline to act daily, and the strength to endure the struggle. That's the method, that's the truth, and the choice is yours.